Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Cavanaugh's Corner. Just want to say thank you for coming back to the channel. Today, I've been waiting to do this review for a few weeks now. If you've been watching the channel, I've been reviewing every Alien movie up until Prometheus. And I have to say that I was very much looking forward to Alien Covenant. Well, today I'm finally going to bring you my review of Alien Covenant. And needless to say, I was woefully disappointed by this movie. I'm going to explain to you why in a few minutes, but first of all, I just want to take a minute and say that, Ridley Scott is still one of the greatest directors alive right now. This guy is a master at what he does. He is really something special, and he does provide some amazing visuals in this movie. This is one of the best-looking movies of the year. And I think he is still a master at what he does. He is still an amazing director, and I have to give him a lot of credit because he is one of the best things about this movie. However, the rest of the movie is very, very, very disappointing. The characters in this film are useless. Basically, the plot of Alien Covenant is that these people are on a mission an off-world mission, I should say, to basically colonize a planet. And the name of the ship that they're on is called the Covenant. That's why the movie is called Alien Covenant. Basically, they're on a charted course to a particular planet way out across the galaxy. And basically, midway through, they get hit by like a sun flare, some kind of ion storm kind of thing. And a lot of the crew is woken up way too early. Some people die, actually. And they find a new planet by accident. There's a rogue transmission that comes over the airwaves, and Danny McBride's character actually intercepts this on accident, and they end up finding the planet, and the ridiculously stupid new captain of the ship ends up taking them to this planet where, there happens to be some aliens. And that's the movie, basically. A lot of shit hits the fan after that, and it's very predictable. I think the movie is extremely, extremely predictable, and sadly, I think the Alien series is very much showing fatigue at this point, which is really too bad, because I really love the series, and I was really hoping for this to be a return to the original, much like how Prometheus was kind of in the vein of the original Alien movie. This one here is more like a slasher film with Alien in it. And it's very sad that we've gotten to the point where I can watch an Alien movie and somebody literally says the line in the film, "I'm going to go take a piss." And I looked at my friend during this scene, and I literally just said, "He's a goner." And I was right. So the characters are very much useless. There is some extremely stupid behavior that happens in this movie. These people are said in the film to train for at least 10 years for this event of colonizing this planet. And the first thing they do is they walk off their landing ship with absolutely no spacesuits on. Even the friggin' idiots that were in Prometheus, those scientist guys that were like, "Oh, let me poke the little penis-looking guy," even those guys were smart enough to question, "Oh, should we really take our spacesuits off, or at least their helmets?" This movie, they just willy-nilly walk out into the planet, and honestly, most of the stuff that happens in the movie could have been avoided if they were just a little more cautious, and that's kind of sad. The backstories to the characters are very much not interesting at all, and I could not get attached to anybody. Honestly, the only character I actually really was surprised and interested in was Walter, and that's Michael Fassbender's character in this movie. And Fassbender is a powerhouse in this. He's an amazing actor already, but if he was not in this movie would be borderline unwatchable. He is just a master. He is so charismatic in this. I'm not going to reveal some surprises that his character that he goes through in this film, but there are some really, really interesting moments, and I think if it wasn't for him, this movie wouldn't be half as good as it is. He really provides an amazing, amazing performance in this, and it's worth to see the movie just to see him. If you're a fan of his prior performances, and if you liked his performance in Prometheus, you'll really enjoy this movie. But there are some other problems with it. I'll talk about that in a minute. Danny McBride is actually the only other actor in the film that I was really surprised by. Danny McBride usually plays like the comic relief characters. In this movie, he is basically one of the straight men, and he does a wonderful job in this. He is absolutely hilarious in certain scenes, and other scenes, he's just doing really good. He just gives a really good performance in this. I didn't know he had that kind of acting range, but he does, and I really would like to see him do more movies where he's the serious guy, because he can do it. He can really do it, and this movie proves that. There are some very interesting reveals in this film that I'm not going to give away here. There are finally some answered questions of how Prometheus connects with Alien, but there are also a lot more questions that are left unanswered in this film. And there are also some things that I kind of left me scratching my head. There are some things about the alien itself that's in this movie that don't quite make sense in the context of the other films. And again, I'm not going to go into detail because I do not want to spoil anything about the movie in case you do want to see it. But it is kind of disappointing, some of the reveals that are in the movie. One big reveal is very much unsatisfying, especially if you enjoyed Prometheus like I did. I liked Prometheus. I think it's a pretty good movie. It's not great, but I think it's pretty good. And this is a follow-up to Prometheus. It's kind of a letdown. A lot of stuff I was hoping would happen in this movie, after Prometheus, just didn't. And I think that's one thing that kind of left me soured by this movie. And this is definitely a follow-up to Prometheus. But the way that they go in this movie, it's almost like Prometheus was going in this direction, and then this movie came out and they're like, no, Alien. And I don't think the movie benefits from that, sadly. I was hoping it would, but it does not. I think the number one biggest problem of the movie that I have is the fact that it's not scary or suspenseful in the least. And, I mean, even there was some moments in Prometheus that I was like, oh, shit, what the hell is this now? Because the scariness of most of the Alien movies is that you don't know what the hell's going to happen. You have a foreboding fear of what's going to happen, but you don't really know where the alien is. That's the scary thing I like about the first Alien movie is that, alien's in the ship, but you know what the hell's going to happen. And you don't really know who the lead character is in that movie either until very close to the end. But this one here, it's evident that Catherine Waterston's character is the lead in this movie. It's evident. Like, you know it right from the beginning of the movie. And I'm not spoiling anything by saying that. She really is. She's the heroine of the story. She's the hero. And it's clear that that's what's going to happen. Whereas the first Alien movie, we don't really know that Sigourney Weaver's the hero. But in this one, it's clear she's going to be the Ripley replacement, as I like to call her character in this. And even her character, as much as I liked her character, I did not care about her character. I was not invested in her. I felt bad for her because of an event that happens very early on in the film. But other than that, I really wasn't like, oh man, oh, this poor girl. I didn't care. And like I said, sadly, the trailers and the previews for this movie give away pretty much everything. With the exception of one or two moments in the movie that are kind of a surprise, you pretty much know what's going to happen every step of the way through the movie. And it's kind of sad because the surprises that were in like the first couple Aliens movies were that you really didn't know what was going to happen. You had an idea of what might happen, I should say, but you really didn't know, and the suspense of the film was not knowing. And this one here, you really know what's going on. The alien is not scary at all. It's gross. There are some really nasty, gross, gory moments, but that's it. Like I said, it really felt like a slasher movie. It felt like a Jason Voorhees movie, but instead of Jason, you got aliens. And that to me was very sad because I hold the Alien franchise in a higher regard. Even though Alien Resurrection is a really stupid movie, it's entertaining. This movie here, there was some entertaining moments, but I was never like, oh wow, this is really great. I was just like, this is very mediocre. And I think that's the one thing about the movie that I hated the most was that I was expecting a pretty scary, intense, suspenseful sci-fi movie, and I got a slasher film. and that was really disappointing to me. But again, Ridley Scott does the best that he can do with the crap that was given to him, and I'm kind of just let down. I'm kind of let down, and sadly, the movie also leaves it open for another film, and I don't even know if I'm interested in it at this point. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm hoping if they do another film that it's better than this one. But honestly, this is one of my least favorite Alien movies, and I'm gonna give it like a 2.25 out of 5, a 2.25 out of 5. I don't even really want to give it a 2.5. If the movie was slightly scary, I'd give it a 2.5. But because of the stupid characters, the awful writing, and the pretty, just poor overall feeling I got from the movie, I just can't give it a 2.5. I'm going to give it like a 2.25. But that's basically my review of Alien Covenant. Again, my opinion may not be popular of this film, but I really wasn't enthused by it, and I was hoping for much more than what I got. Hopefully, whatever they do in the future will be slightly better than this one. So anyway, I'm Andrew Cavanaugh. Thank you for coming back to Cavanaugh's Corner. If you like this video, if you like my other videos or anything that I do, basically, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to the channel. So we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.